But you have to lather, rinse, and repeat. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of sweat. That's laborious. It's taxing. And you get what I'm saying? That is not what God called us to do. Of his own will, he begot us. And of his own will. That's why it says he will freely give us all things through Christ. Romans 8:32. He that spared not his only son, shall he not freely give us all things? Freely give us all things. See that? I can't get away from this tetelestai. It's all in my mind. I'm going to have to preach that soon. Because we just got to get, we got to rest. Get to that point to trust the Spirit of God that's been given in the earth to help us. The Paraclete, he will do what God called him to do. And even in the Aramaic sense, he is the redeemer of the curse.
Sir.
And part of the curse is to be toiling, relegated to the ground, right? When Adam got his curse, it was about him being enslaved by his environment. That's why we got to do what? Go above. That's why we got to put on the earth heavenly image. Just like we were wired to function in the earth by a faulty image because we had an Adamic image. Now, through the regeneration, we can be, boy, oh boy, through the regeneration, we can have the heavenly image. We can born or bear, King James said born the heavenly image. We can bear the heavenly image. And so this is a part of us becoming a first fruit of his creation. These are concepts that are not necessarily shared on a large scale, but this is our lifeline, and we have to get to that point. Let's look at another version in the Amplified. This is powerful. It says, it was of his own will that he gave us birth as his children by the word of truth. Right? So that we should be a kind of first fruit of his creature, a sample of what he created to be, consecrated to himself. We are a sample of what God intended for us, and that was what he wanted of himself. He wanted to exemplify himself through us. Sure. We became partakers of his glory. But there's codes in order to activate it. There's codes on your computer. There's codes on your phone. Anything, if you're going to tap into, you got to know the code. Amen? I mean, there's codes to get in certain places. Amen. We got to get to that point. We got to find these codes. And that's what I've been sharing with y'all. Regeneration is a code word for us to be able to go into the substance of what Christ truly means, and Christos on the inside of us. What can't wait. That's on the inside of us. All of us carry it. Tell you that we carry it.
We carry it.
You don't got to see it, but it's in there. I'm trying to get it to be awakened, quickened, activated. I don't know. But this says, so we have this thing, this nature, this life, this incorruptibility of the Spirit of God to bring us to a clearer understanding of what God's purpose is for the elect of God, for the born-again believer. Amen? And, I'm going to give you this. Let me just give you these two, then we're going to go further. Look at this translation. I think and it says, okay, the voice, the last one. We have a special role in this plan. He calls us to life by his message of truth so that we will show the rest of his creation his goodness and love. We are God's splendor. We are God's majesty. We are, you get what I'm saying? My life should be indicative of my faith. God wants to parade us in the earth realm.
Yes, sir.
He wants to provoke other people to love and good works. And that's why we have to be, as we talk, we have to be a city. We have to be the light that cannot be. We can't lose our salt, our flavor, right? Because it's predicated. Society and the condition of society is predicated upon the church. Not just the church as a structure, the church as a building. You know what I'm saying? Because it's denominated. It's brought down to its lowest form. But the church, the organism called church, not the institution called church, the true ecclesia, the true called out. Amen. I was talking to Dr. Kawani yesterday, and in preparation for when I broadcast on her charisma thing, news or whatever. But we were talking, and she was sharing, I was telling her what I was getting. She sent me some information. I was telling her some information I had about the Christos and stuff. And I said, we got a long way to go as far as the church. They have, what Jeremiah says, they have polluted the vine. They had treaded underfoot. We have generations of stuff. We got to find a generation that can not only be instructed or informed, but the information comes to transformation. Our revelation has to become transformation. That's the key, y'all. It ain't just about us studying. I don't study just for sake of study. I don't study without intent. I'm not studying to try to make anybody pleased other than the Father.
Yes,
I study because I understand the grace that comes through study. And I'm not comfortable where I am.
Right. Amen. Amen.
I don't. There's not a safe place for my ego
Yes, sir. Good.
where I feel like I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm always searching. Now I'm not like, searching like because I'm agitated or anxious. Because I allow my, you get what I'm saying? Some people search, they just be searching for the sake of searching, you know what I'm saying? And then that becomes performance. You clap yourself, pat yourself on the back, and you say, oh yeah, you just searching. And we go to the scripture and say, oh, I feel good today because I read 3 chapters. I'm not talking about that tonight. I'm talking about when it's induced by the Spirit of God.
Yes, sir.
When the Spirit prompts you to a study. Which most folks don't live from.
Yes, sir. Right.
Because if it happens, you can see the fruit.
Yeah.
We do it out of duty. When you do it, if you're induced by the Spirit, you do it out of devotion. It ain't because you have to. I mean, no, have to's is troublemakers. You have to do something. When it's kids, you got to do something. You don't do what you want to do. Amen. That's why preachers can't get up and tell you what you have to do.
That's a story.
Yeah, it is. That's a good word. Yep. So what I do, I try to create an appetite in you for the want to.
Yes, sir.
I want to study Greek. I want to study Hebrew. I want to rightly divide the word. I want to look into regeneration. That's my whole goal. That's what true discipleship is. For that matter. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, get back to my message. So, what I read out of James 1, 17 to 18, talking about our role. First of all, the initiation of the role did not start with us. It came from the Father. The objective of that initiation is so that we would become a first fruit, a down payment, an earnest of what the Father wants to do in the earth realm, right? Knowing these things are tremendous words, far beyond the theological or the theology of Christendom, that God is bringing forth a manifestation of His new covenant generation, which can rightly be called creatures of Himself. So in the original language, it means incarnation of Himself. So when it talks about becoming the first fruit of His creation, it's basically in Greek, when it's saying it's creatures of Himself. So it's the multiplicity of the original seed. If we become members only, we missed it.
Yeah.
If we become, you know what I'm saying, if we found enough satisfaction to say that I came to church on Sunday, we missed it.
Sir.
It has to affect every aspect of our life. Everything in us has to be affected by it. Right? Everything. Willingly has to be affected by it. How we handle life in general, how we deal with relationships, how we handle our finances, how we deal with husband and wife and children and all that other stuff. Every facet. How we deal with people on our jobs. What our aspirations are. You know what I'm saying? We should have a vision in here, you know. Some of us just, you know, our vision is Sunday, but that's not your vision. It should not be your vision. You should have a vision that's a secondary vision to this primary vision, right? Shouldn't be your vision to be on on the couch. Although I do have a vision that my summer league has started. That's just an ancillary thought. But we got to get to the point to understand that there's a spiritual projection that God had with him himself, that he hid in Ephesians 3:10. He hid that wisdom in himself, that he somehow can have a creation that will carry his divine nature. This creation that will carry his divine nature is born of his own word, of his own initiative. He has begot us. Therefore, I can't say it enough. Salvation is far more than just the initial experience of an altar call, or feeling sorry about, you know, a situation in life, or the perplexities of life that somehow distorted our perception or put pressure on us, not distorted, but somehow put pressure on us that we need to respond to God. But that's not necessarily, it's not just about making sure we get to heaven. You know what I'm saying? Jesus didn't come for that. He didn't just come to create an insurance in us for us to go to heaven. He came to create in us a new man, a new creature, a new being, a new awareness, a new realization, a new reality.
Yes.
In spite of our present circumstances. That's what he came to do. So when I get into that new reality, every time I'm hearing certain genetic codes, every time I'm hearing certain principles, guess what happens? Hope rises up in me.
Sir.
The church should not be hopeless. We've been consecrated to a new and living way, a lively hope.